So I want to get started on our homepage, and I'm starting on our homepage because some of you have never used EdSite before, and I just want to share that you can make questions on EdSite, group those questions into an assignment, and then send that assignment to your students. So what we're going to do is I'm on my homepage right now, and I'm going to click on questions and then select create question. That's going to bring me to my create question page, which is where I have all of these different question types to choose from. Since we're talking about drag and drop today, our favorite drag and drop question is actually called fill in the blank. So to find it, you're going to click student action, and then under select answer, it's right here, the second option. You're going to click fill in the blanks and then select create question. This is going to open your question editor. Now, most question editors in EdSite look very, very similar. They have the question name up here. They have a space for an optional stimulus right here. They have a space for your stimulus over here, which, could be an ELA passage or a video showing you a math concept or a science concept, an audio clip, anything you want can go here. And then this space here is where you would enter student instructions or prompts. This gear button is where you would see all of your settings for that particular question type. And this is where you enter your question. So here we are in a fill in the blank where we're going to do drag and drop. I'm going to name the question fruit question 1 because we're going to talk about fruit today. In this box, I'm going to write my question. An apple is the color red. So now I have my question and I want students to guess that red is the right answer. So notice I'm in edit mode when I enter this text. Another way to enter the text is by clicking on the blue pencil button. A blue pencil button will open up the rich text editor anywhere within the EdSite platform. So if I click on that blue pencil, you'll see that my text is right there. I can then change the font size. I can bold it or italicize it or underline it. I can do all sorts of things. And when I'm finished setting up these questions, we'll walk through all the different things that you can do with the rich text editor. For right now, we're just going to leave it like it is. I've edited my question, and now it's time to set the answer. I'm going to click Set Answer. I'm going to highlight the answer, and you'll see that this table has populated. The next thing I need to do is select the answer type. Right now it's a drop-down answer, but since we're doing drag and drop today, I'm going to click drag and drop answer. And then you see that my correct answer is red. I can add alternate answers and I can add distractors. So let's add a distractor. My distractor can be yellow. And we can add another distractor by clicking the blue pencil and opening up our rich text editor and entering orange. Now, apples can be more than one color. They can be red and they can actually be yellow. So I'm going to delete that and add yellow here as an alternate. I'm also going to add green since apples can be green. And so now you see I have my correct answer, my alternate answers, and my distractor answers. I'm also going to fill in instructions for my students. Complete the following sentence. So you see these are directions for my students, and now they know that they have to complete the sentence. Once I'm done filling this out, I'm going to click the gear button and see if I have any options that I want to take advantage of. So the ordering of the answer options can be randomized or alphabetical. I'm going to keep them randomized. And we have some advanced scoring that you can access here. I'm going to click the done button. And this question is worth 1 point. I can change the point value to 2 if I want to. And now that my question is all set up, I need to add a tag. So I'm going to go over here to tags, and I want to tag to a state standard. Oh, let's save the question and continue editing it. And this is my work account, so because I work with lots of different states, I have all different state standards, but you would normally only see one of these bars based on whatever state you're located in. Since I'm located in the state of Florida and I want it to be at the question level, you can tag part levels, but right now we're going to tag a question level. I'm going to click on Florida. I'm going to click on ELA to select my subject, and then I'm going to click in this box, and I can either start scrolling through to find the exact tag that I want, the exact standard that I want, or I can start typing in the code. Since I don't know the codes off by heart in Florida, I'm just going to pick one. And you see that it populated up here. You're actually seeing more because I have all of these standards selected in this account, but really when you do it, you will only see one. Now let's get back to the question. And since the question is all set up, what we want to do is we want to look at it in the student view. So we'll click student view. And here we have an apple is the color. And let's see, let's move yellow into the box and check the answer. And it marked me as correct because the answer could be yellow or green or red. So now that this drag and drop is set up, Brian, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
One thing that I noticed when looking at the student view that is this is a great reason to use the student view. You might notice that some of the answer choices, or really one of them, the red, is formatted a little differently. And I think, Josie, you increased the size of that font. So it's just a reminder, if you do this with the correct answer, make sure you do it with the distractors as well, because otherwise you can give the answer away.
That's a good point. So I'm going to go back to edit. I'm going to click on my blue pencil. I'm going to highlight the sentence and put it back to 16 points.
Yep. 16. You could also have increased the size of the other ones too.
Correct. I could have increased the size of yellow, green, or orange as well to match, but you're correct. That was a good reminder that we need to make sure that we're using all the same font sizes.
Yeah. One other thing that I sometimes see on this question, Josie, that I know people like is this question that we've set up. We start simple. We want a single answer area where we're choosing between those 4 answers and we're dropping one in. But a lot of teachers use this question type to make a question with multiple drop areas. So maybe we could do that we could ask them about the color of bananas or something in this same question as a way so you can kind of see how a teacher can set up multiple answer areas within the same question. Perfect.
Okay, so let's set up.
As she's doing this, you can kind of think about if there's only one answer area, if we were just leaving this as the apple, then drag and drop, and you have 3 options for this answer. So we have it set on drag and drop right now. And I think if it was just an apple is the color red, drop down and drag and drop are really no different here. But as you get more answer areas, that's where this question type becomes our favorite question type because it gives you so much scaffolding. So now that there's 3 answer areas, I can choose and I can say, I can basically set it so that it is either drag and drop or drop down. If it's drop down, then each student is only going to see the options under that answer. So for example, for the banana, if it's drop down, they're only going to see purple and the correct answer yellow. So that might be easier for students with an IEP or students that are struggling with a lot of choices. Whereas if you want to scaffold it up and make it more difficult, you can make it a drag and drop, and then the students are choosing, really they have to think about purple in every answer choice. So they could drag that to the apple, they could drag that to the banana, and that's where you can get into this allow students to reuse answer choices as an option. So, excuse me, that can make it a little more difficult because then just because a student has used red for an apple, it doesn't mean they can't use it for pear. So that's one way to up the difficulty. And then the most extreme end of this, which we don't need to enable here, but you can set this to text answer, where students are writing a free response answer. So they just type in a single code. And that's the least scaffolded, obviously, because you're not providing the answer for students. Thanks, Josie.
No, thanks for the explanation. That allows students to reuse answer choice is a great way to get your students to really think about their answers and to scaffold. So let's just go over to the student view one more time and make sure everything is set up properly. You have your instructions for your students. You have your drops, and then you have your sentences. So the apple is color green. Banana is yellow. And let's do pear is green because we can reuse our answer choices. Let's check our answers. And you can see that everything is correct. So this is our first drag and drop. Good job. Let's save it. And let's go to create a grouping drag and drop question. Is everybody ready? All right. So create new question means that we go back to our create question page. We're going to select student action, and then we're going to select categorize, classify.
And just, sorry, just pausing here for 1 second, because this page is exciting because their EdSite has 55 question types. But I think sometimes people say on this page they don't know where to start. Just to help you think about it a little bit, the top level is just going to give you different ways to filter those question types. The ones that we recommend using, or the ones that I use the most, are test alignment, which is going to let you see, oh, I want to create something aligned to air, or I want to create something aligned to park or SBAC. The student action, which we typically will demo in these demos, will get at how do you want students to answer the question? So are they selecting a multiple choice answer? Are they constructing their response? Are they categorizing and classifying something? Those filter by, the 5 options up there, are just different ways of slicing and dicing our 55 question types. So use the top level as a way to kind of get in, and then you'll have categories under that that'll help you narrow in on what you're looking for. If you want to use, they all are numbered. So if you find one that you like, you can always go to the full listing and search for that number.
Yeah, just go.
The one we just did was number 002. So we could find that one by searching for fill in the blanks. Yeah.
And then you can also click the star to make it a favorite, and then it's found in your My Favorites. Because when you think drag and drop, you don't automatically think about the fill in the blank as a title of the question, but it is our favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good call.
Okay, thanks, Brian. So let's go to student action. We're going to go to categorize, classify, and notice that grouping drag and drop is our first option. And we're going to click create question. So you'll see as our question editor opens that's set up in exactly the same way as the fill in the blank was set up. We have the question name up here, the optional stimulus in this space, the stimulus in this space, the gear button that has your settings, the space for instructions, and then your question. One thing that I didn't show you on the previous question that I'm going to show you now is that you can change where the stimulus is located by clicking these buttons. So now you'll see that the stimulus and the optional stimulus are on top and the question is on the bottom. It's just a preference. Typically, we find that ELA teachers like to use it this way, and math and science teachers like to use it this way, but it's total personal preference. So let's name this question. Okay, and we want the students to drag the fruit into the correct categories. Now, I used to be a kindergarten teacher, so dealing with fruit and colors is all an exciting unit for me. Let's go into the gear button and see what our options are. So the first option you can see is the answer bank layout, and you can see that our answers are on the bottom here. You can also choose left, which is that your answer bank will be put to the left. I'm going to keep them on the bottom for right now. You see we have allow students to reuse answer choices. Well, I'm not sure I want that enabled right now, so I'm just going to not check it. And we have 2 groups right here, but I'm going to add a 3rd group. Okay, so everything is done. And now we need our titles for our groups. I'm going to click this blue pencil button because that opens up our editor. And I'm going to change the font size to bigger. I'm going to make it bold and call this red. I'm going to do the same thing for this. Bold. And call this yellow. And then let's do orange. Okay. Now, if you were teaching math and you wanted to give an optional sample answer, you could do that in this space right here. I don't think we need an optional answer for this question. So I'm just going to go right over to my choices. I'm going to click the blue pencil button. And for this one, I want to add images. So I'm going to delete the sample answer that's there. I'm going to click this picture. And now it's going to open my images. I can add an image from the shared library. So these are all images that teachers have chosen to share into our EdSite library, and I can search it by using this search field up here. I can add images from my own library, and these are all the images that I personally have added to EdSite, and there's lots of them because, like I said, I used to teach kindergarten. Or I can add an image from Flickr. I can add an image using a URL, or I can insert an image from my hard drive. Sometimes, especially if you're doing a complicated image or a complicated math problem, it's easy to take a screenshot of an image, save it to your hard drive, and then add it this way. For right now, I'm going to use the image library with our shared images. And I'm going to find some apples. Let's click the magnifying glass. Here's an apple. I'm going to click select image. I'm going to click OK. And you'll see this has now become one of my choices. Let's go to yellow, click the blue pencil. I'm going to delete the answer that's there. Click on the picture, type in banana, click the magnifying glass. Select a banana, click select image, click OK, and now my banana is there. For orange, I'm going to click the blue pencil. I'm going to delete the answer, and I'm guessing you can all guess what I'm going to type in here. Orange, click the magnifying glass. There's a beautiful orange. Select the image, click OK. And then I don't need this answer choice. So just like the blue pencil in EdSite opens up that rich text editor, the red X deletes the answer choices. So I'm just going to click that red X. And there my answer, my question is all set up. But it's only worth 1 point. And I feel like because students have 3 choices, this should be worth 3 points. So I'm going to click the 3. And then I'm going to check it out. Oh, one more thing I forgot to do. I need to, of course, tag my question. It's really important to tag your question to your state standards because this is valuable information that you need in your student reports once your students have submitted all of their assignments. So I'm going to go over to ELA. We'll just pick a random standard. There we go. And now it's tagged. Let's go over to the student view. And let's make sure that this is set up properly. So drag the fruit into the correct categories. I'm going to put the orange with the orange, the apple with the red, and the banana with the yellow. I'm going to check my answers, and they are correct. So this question is set up correctly. So that is how you set up a grouping drag and drop. Now, before I move on, I wanted to show you other things that you can do in that rich text editor. So I'm going to click this blue pencil button, and you've seen how we can add images. Well, you can also add video and audio. So audio, you click this speaker button, and you can add audio. This is our shared audio library. So similar to the images, these are audio files that teachers have chosen to share with us. They're all here. You have your own audio files, and I don't actually have any in this account. And then you can click, you can click add audio, and you can add audio URLs. You can upload audio from your hard drive, or one of my favorite features is you can record your own audio. So your recording can be up to 2 minutes, and you can record yourself speaking or reading a passage. So teachers have found this very, very helpful. If you are an EdSite Schools customer, you do have access to text-to-speech. EdSite Schools is our paid platform. But if you're a free EdSite user, this is a great way to have those students who are having difficulty listen to your voice read the passage instead of having to read it. So that's audio. You can also add video clips. So by clicking this little film strip, you can see videos from our shared video library. You can see your own videos. And I mean, if you went through my videos, you would see that I made a lot of them using like Telegami or other third-party apps. Or you can add videos from YouTube. You can add a video URL, or you can upload a video from your own computer. One thing about using YouTube is A, you should make sure that your school firewall allows YouTube videos, but B, we're not in charge of how long videos stay live on YouTube, so we recommend the best thing to do is to download them to your computer and then upload them to EdSite so that they live on your computer. Brian, was there anything else you wanted to show about the rich text editor?
That was a pretty complete set of things to show there. One thing I would just add, since I'm a math guy, I won't make you type out anything too complicated, but if you click on the F of X button, you should be able, so this is a great way, we want to type math and we want it to look like the math in textbooks, like the math that we're writing on boards for students. So you could just write y equals 2, and then do the slash, like divided by, and then you could put it over 3, and then use the right arrow on your keyboard or click over to the side, and then you can do x plus 1. Perfect. And then just click the OK. So for math teachers out there, you can add math text very easily. You can just use that F of X button, and that will allow you anything you type in there, and there's buttons to do it too. But anything that you type in there will get formatted in what's called LaTeX, so it looks nice like the math that students will be seeing in their textbooks and on the board.
Yeah. So, and especially if you're doing math problems, it's always great to add an optional sample answer over here for this grouping drag and drop question.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some other drag and drop types that we're not going to cover today, but there's some more advanced features around math as well. So if you're interested in that, my email again is Brian, B-R-I-A-N, @edsight.com. I'm happy to show you guys some of the more complicated and interesting things that you can set up using our advanced math scoring. Since we're coming up on the last 2 or 3 minutes here, I did want to pause and see if anyone had any last minute questions for us to answer. And while people are typing those, I did want to just add a plug. So everything that we're doing here and that we created today is available to teachers and to teachers as a free tool. So edsight.com is free for teachers to use, create great question types, use questions created by other teachers. EdSight Schools is a platform for schools and districts that want to give digital assessments either within a school context or within a district context. You can give common assessments and get data back instantly on how students are doing. And another popular feature with EdSight Schools is we actually have viewers that align to what your state test looks like. So you can give the formative assessments you want, but students will get practice with the look and feel of their state assessment, whether that's Smarter Balanced, PARCC, AIR, FSA. We've seen some of the Missouri ones. So those are all available with EdSight Schools. If you're interested in EdSight Schools, shoot Josie or I an email. There is a webinar on that actually tomorrow. So if you're interested, we can get you signed up for that. Thank you guys very much for attending this on a Monday afternoon, right back from Thanksgiving. We hope you had a wonderful break and that you are energized for the next few weeks of school before winter break. Josie, anything you want to add?
Nope. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for attending.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.